There's a moment that almost everyone in our generation has experienced, but no one really talks about. It usually happens quietly. You get your salary, maybe it's your first real paycheck, or maybe you've been earning for a couple of years now, and for a brief moment, it feels like things are finally working. So you upgrade something, a new iPhone, a bigger apartment, luxury watches. Maybe you start telling yourself, I deserve this. And honestly, you do. But somewhere in that process, something else happens. Something subtle. Your life starts to look better, but your savings are the same. And if you're being honest with yourself, you've probably felt this. You're earning more than before. You're spending smarter than before. And yet, your bank balance doesn't feel like it reflects your effort. So, what's actually going on? Why does it feel like you're progressing in life, but financially, you're standing still? Most people think the problem is income. They assume if I just earn more, everything will fix itself. But if you look around, that doesn't really hold up. You'll find people earning 30,000 rupees struggling, and people earning 100,000 rupees still stressed. Same anxiety, different numbers. Which means the issue isn't just how much you earn, it's how quickly your lifestyle catches up to your income. And more importantly, why you feel the need for it to. Here's the part most financial advice skips. Wanting to feel rich early isn't a money problem. It's a psychological one, because feeling rich isn't actually about money. It's about validation, external validation from comparing yourself to others, validation from years of not having enough. So when money finally starts coming in, you don't just spend it. You use it to fix a feeling. You upgrade your life not because you need to, but because you want to feel like you've made it. And that's where things start to get expensive. Not immediately, but over time. Let's make this real. Let's say someone starts earning 60,000 rupees a month. Nothing crazy, but decent. At first, they're careful. They save a bit. They track expenses. They think long term. But then slowly, they move to a slightly better apartment. They start ordering food more often. They upgrade their perfectly good phone. They travel a bit more. None of these decisions are wrong. Individually, they all make sense. But together, they create a new baseline. Now, 60,000 rupees doesn't feel like 60,000 rupees anymore. It feels normal. And the problem with normal is that it resets your expectations. So the next time income increases, your lifestyle increases with it. And again, nothing really changes, except now you're earning more, spending more, and still feeling like you're not getting ahead. I've seen this up close. Not just online, but in real businesses, real numbers. During my time working around financial statements and business operations, one thing became very clear. Cash flow tells the truth. Not lifestyle, not perception, not how things look from the outside. You can have a business doing millions in revenue and still be tight on cash. You can have individuals earning well and still living month to month, because money doesn't care about how things look. It only responds to what you keep. And that's a hard thing to accept, especially when you've worked hard to earn more. There's also another layer to this: social pressure. Not the loud kind, but the quiet, constant kind. You see people your age traveling to different countries, partying, enjoying life, and even if you don't say it out loud, there's a small voice that says, I should be doing that too. So you do, not fully consciously, but gradually. And over time, your spending starts to match your environment instead of your goals. This is how people end up living a life that looks good but feels tight. Now here's where it gets interesting. Because the real cost of wanting to feel rich early isn't the money you spend. It's the time you lose. Time that could have gone into building a corpus. Time that could have gone into compounding. time that, once gone, doesn't come back. Think about this. The first 100,000 is hard. The first 500,000 feels even harder. Not because the math is difficult, but because the habits aren't built yet. Every 10,000 saved feels like the hardest thing in the world. Every decision feels like the biggest sacrifice. And this is exactly the phase where most people quit, because this is also the phase where you want to feel like you've made progress. So instead of building quietly, you start rewarding yourself a little too early. And again, nothing wrong with that. But the trade-off is subtle. You delay the moment where money starts working for you. Once you cross a certain point, things actually get easier. Your savings start generating returns. Your decisions become less reactive. You're not constantly starting from zero. But to get there, you have to go through a phase where it doesn't feel good. And that's the part most people try to skip. The turning point, at least for me, was realizing that money isn't supposed to feel good immediately. It's supposed to create stability first, then options, then freedom in that order. And when you try to reverse that, when you try to jump straight to feeling rich, you end up delaying the very thing you're chasing. So the question becomes, what do you actually want? Do you want the feeling of being rich or the reality of it? Because they require different decisions. The feeling comes from spending. The reality comes from delaying gratification, at least in the beginning. This doesn't mean you stop enjoying your life. That's not the point. The point is awareness, understanding that every upgrade you make comes with a hidden cost, not just in money, but in momentum. A small shift that helps is separating your life into two timelines: your current life and your future life. Right now, your job is to support both, not just one. So when you earn money, a part of it goes to making your present comfortable, and a part of it goes to building your future quietly. Don't pressurize yourself, just be consistent. You don't need to save everything. You don't need to cut out everything you enjoy. But you do need to be honest with yourself. Are you spending to improve your life or to feel better about it? Because those are not the same thing. And this is where a lot of people in our generation get it wrong. They think financial progress should feel exciting, but in reality, it often feels slow, even boring. And that's actually a good sign, because it means you're building something real, not something that just looks good from the outside. If you zoom out far enough, you'll realize something simple. Nobody remembers how early you upgraded your lifestyle, but you will definitely feel the impact of whether you built a strong financial base. So if right now you feel like you're behind, or like your money isn't moving the way it should, it doesn't mean you're doing everything wrong. It might just mean you've been trying to feel rich before you've actually become it. And that's a very easy trap to fall into, especially when things start improving. The good news is, this is completely fixable. Not through some drastic change, but through small awareness, a few better decisions, a little more patience. Because real financial progress doesn't happen when your things look newer. It happens when things start compounding quietly, and that takes time. So you don't need to rush it. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to match anyone else's pace. Just focus on building something that lasts, even if it doesn't feel impressive right now. Because eventually, there comes a point where you don't need to feel rich anymore. You are rich, and by then, you won't need to prove it to anyone, not even yourself.